Hello, welcome to Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine. My name is Mary Bear Shannon. I am a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library. Again, this is Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine. It's Monday at 5, so it must be me on Facebook Live. Glad to have everyone here today. Kicking Cooking in Quarantine has been around for a couple of months. We started right as everything shut down in April, March and April. We have been doing this program. We have been sharing recipes. I have been cooking from my kitchen here in Havertown during that time. And we have also been able to share substitutions and rounds around things that are some shortages during this time, and also just having a chance to share our love for cooking. The Haverford Township Free Library has been doing cooking programs for a number of years. Our hallmark food program is Cookbook Club, which we have been doing since 2012. Where we pick a cookbook every month. Everybody cooks from it. And before COVID, we would bring it to share at the library. We now actually talk about what we've cooked via Zoom in the last couple of months, but that group is still working and coming together as a group of food lovers. So if you would like to join us, it's always the second Monday of the month. If you are interested, you can find the event on Facebook. You can also find it on our website. And if you would like to come and join us for Cookbook Club, my email is listed. You can email me and I will send you the Zoom link. So again, this is Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine. My name is Mary Bear Shannon. I am a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library. And as I said, we have been doing this program for a number of months. If you didn't know, the library is now reopened for business. We are open for browsing and checkout of books. And we are also continuing to do programs virtually, but you can come in and browse for your favorite books. I also wanted to mention a couple of other programs that are coming up this week. Hooked on History is tonight. We are also our monthly Herb Corner with Jen and Mary is this Wednesday at 3 p.m. That's a pre-recorded program, and we talk about herbs for our well-being as well as for use in the kitchen. And we're actually going to talk about one particular herb tonight, which is something that I'm going to be getting ready for Herb Corner with my recipe. The other thing is that if you've missed some of these programs, you can always find Vintage Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine on YouTube. All you have to do is go to YouTube and search for the Haverford Township Free Library, and you can find all of the past programs of Kickin' Cooking in Quarantine. Just because you miss it on Facebook does not mean you miss it completely. You can just go to our YouTube channel and look at all of our past episodes. So anyway, last week I was talking about comfort food. We're all, dealing with the stress of this long-term health crisis, and I was cooking one of my family favorites, my Aunt Libby's casserole, which was delicious, by the way. It always is. And we were talking about things that foods that are comfort for us, and people talked about all different things on the Facebook Live. What they cook when they're stressed out, when they need comfort food. And one of the things that people talked about was pie. And one of the quotes that I gave last week was from David Mamet. It says, "We must have pie. Stress cannot exist in the presence of a pie." And so I liked that quote so well. I decided that I would, I've been thinking about pie ever since. And it is a comfort food for me. And so I thought that I would work on a pie today. The other thing is that it's the end of August, and lots of things in the garden are ready for harvesting. I have just this amazing array of herbs that are actually up on my deck and I have quite a bit of basil, and so I have a lot to harvest. And so for my herb corner, I was going to talk about, on Wednesday, I was going to talk about basil, but I was going to cook one of those recipes today. Because I have so much basil and there's just so much pesto that you can make, although pesto is amazing and I love it, I did find another recipe that I'm going to share with you today. The other thing that I've made with my basil along with pesto, I have made a caprese salad, which I just love. That is thick slices of tomato with a leaf of basil, and some mozzarella cheese. I then put olive oil, salt and pepper, and I use balsamic vinegar. I don't know if anybody else puts that on their caprese, but I think it makes it, many recipes don't call for it, but I think I like it as an addition to my caprese salad. Basil is also just the basic ingredient in spaghetti sauce, or gravy, as some of my neighbors here in Delco would call it. The first time someone actually mentioned gravy, making gravy and putting it on pasta, I had no idea what they were talking about because I'm not from Delco. But spaghetti sauce is a perfect way to use your basil, and I think fresh is always good. So there's a lot of things that you can use. Basil is one of those things that we associate with Italian cooking, but it is also used in Thai cooking and Vietnamese cooking and other Asian cooking. So basil is one of those things that really does have kind of a wide range in terms of different cuisines. The other thing about basil is that you normally think about it with a savory, and that seems to be a typical way of using basil. But I'm actually going to use basil in something sweet today. So hopefully that will pique your interest. Again, I have lots of basil to harvest from my garden. So I'm trying to find lots of different recipes. So I came across one today, and I was very intrigued. So I am going to demonstrate it today. It is a lime basil pie. And I hope this will be good. It sounded good. The interesting thing about basil is that it is from the mint family. It does have a strong but very fresh taste when you eat it raw, and it always adds a freshness to savory dishes. But I'm going to actually use it in a pie today. So I will let you know. Of course, my guinea pigs here at my house will be the ones that will be the tasters, but I am going to demonstrate it for you today. But I guess what I would ask, if anybody is, also dealing with the conundrum of what to do with all the basil in your yard, is what do you use your basil for? What do you use when you harvest it? Do you use pesto? Do you use other do you do other recipes? I'd love to hear how you use your basil. What is your favorite recipe to use with basil? So anyway, I think we are going to hop over to the kitchen, and we are going to start with our lime basil pie. So here we go. All right. So we're heading over to my kitchen. And here we are. So this recipe, I will make sure is put in the comment section of our of this Facebook Live event. So, and look for a final product as well. So I'm going to tip this down so you can actually see my my bowl. This is going to be my mixing bowl to start this pie. There are a couple of basic ingredients. This is a kind of a cream pie. It is cooked because it has egg yolks in it, but hopefully I think that is so that it will set up and be firm when you take it out of the pan. So we're going to start with a 8-ounce package of cream cheese. This is, I've just had this out for about an hour just to get it kind of softened up. And we're going to start with that, and the recipe wants me to beat this until it is smooth, so we're going to do that first. So this shouldn't take too long. It is room temperature. And we're just going to beat this until all the lumps are out. Okay, so that's pretty much done at this point. We have basically just mixed up the cream cheese. This is 8 ounces of cream cheese. Now, what I'm going to add to this is a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. So you know this is going to be good if there's sweetened condensed milk in it. So we are going to put this in. Get all that goodness out here. So again, we've got cream cheese, we've got sweetened condensed milk, and okay, so we're going to beat this together, and then we're going to get all the other ingredients in here. But this is going to be kind of the base. And we're just going to beat this until it is smooth and everything is incorporated. Okay, so that's pretty much the base. Now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. We're going to put in 2 egg yolks, not the whole egg, just 2 large egg yolks. And again, that will help to set it up. We have a tablespoon of, I'll put that up a little closer. This is lime zest. So, and here's the trick with, because this also calls for fresh lime juice. Zest your limes before you juice them, because it's really difficult to zest a lime that's already been squeezed. So you want to do the zesting first. So that is a whole tablespoon of lime zest. And then the other thing you're going to put in here is a 1/2 cup of freshly squeezed lime juice. Okay. So then we are going to continue to beat this and get this incorporated. And you can see the little bits of lime zest in here, very pretty against the white creaminess of the cream cheese and the sweetened condensed milk. So this is all incorporated now. As you can see, I've got all the lime zest in here, the lime juice, the egg yolks. Now here is the final ingredient. Now this recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of minced basil. Now finely minced. You don't want leaves in this. You want it to be really cut up. Now I did see reviews online about this recipe, and they said, most of them said a 1/4 cup is a little too much basil. So I am using 1/2 of that. I'm using about 1/8 of a cup of basil. And again, it's, you can see it's really finely minced. So we're going to put that in there. And we are going to mix that up. And again, it's giving these really pretty green specks along with the lime zest. And as you can see, this is pretty much, this is all combined. You can see that you've got all the pretty green specks in it from the lime zest as well as the basil. So very interesting way to use basil. I'm curious to see how this actually winds up. Now, the last thing you do is you put this into a prepared graham cracker crust. There were people online that made their own crust. Didn't have that kind of time today, so I am using a prepared graham cracker crust. And I'm going to use my my spatula here just because I think it'll be easy to get everything out to go into this lovely pie shell. So as you can see here, of course my arm is in the way, so I'm gonna try and move my arm. Like I said, this is not the Food Network, and I am my own cameraman. So we are putting all of this into a graham cracker crust. And again, it's got egg yolks in it, so it is going to cook and it is going to set up, and we hope that will make it a nice firm pie, and it will not go everywhere. It will actually firm up and it will slice well. Okay, so that is our pie, and this is going to go in a 325-degree oven for, I think it's 15 to 18 minutes, basically until it sets up in the middle. You want to make sure that that it's not still wet in the middle. Yes, so 15 to 18 minutes until the center is set. And then you are going to let it cool for an hour and then refrigerate it for 2 hours before you serve it. And then you can use either creme fraiche or your own sweetened whipped cream, or you could use non-dairy topping as well. So I think it's really up to you. So I am going to stick this in the oven. And we'll bring you back over here. I will show you the final product when it comes out. Hopefully it'll be perfect. Again, I have my guinea pigs here to tell me if it's any good, mixing something that we normally think of as a savory basil along with a sweet. So anyway, that is Kickin' Cooking in quarantine today. I hope that everyone is well and that they have a great week. And again, thanks for watching. Take care.